What was Halloween like for you as a boy growing up?
Well, for some reason, I lived kind of like a Davy Crockett-like existence in Chicago. We made everything.
You made everything?
Yeah, so we made all of our Halloween costumes. We made, like, our bikes. I never had a new bike until I was, like, in college, I think.
How do you make you made a bike out of sticks or something?
Yeah, you pull, like, a frame out of the Lagoon, and you, like, find some tires, and, you know, you replace the inner tubes, you spray paint it all at the end, and there you've got a bike. So.
Yeah.
So, but like 4th of July would roll around, and even then we would make our own fireworks. Where, I know it sounds crazy, but we would make bombs every year. It's not very PC now, after 9/11 and everything, to talk about making bombs, but that's what we did for fun.
So when you were kids, you would make, are you talking about like you just make little bombs?
Well, we started out little. The younger children would make littler bombs. You take like match heads and put them in a baby food bottle and wrap it up with duct tape and then stick a wick in it. And those are actually quite potent devices.
Sure.
I don't recommend it for kids.
Right now, my kids are writing that down. Thanks a lot.
Well, it gets worse, Andy. Yeah. We would carry like garbage can lids as blast shields when we would light them, you know? I think that might have helped, but luckily you never had a...
So that was a small bomb.
Yeah, so
you said you graduated to bigger bombs?
Well, you know, you get older, you want to, like, kick it up a notch. You're like, I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not going to make baby bombs. I want to make teenage bombs. So one year, some friends and I took a coffee can, like a large coffee can, and filled it with every kind of flammable powder, fireworks, match heads. We're like, does it light on fire? Put it in there. Like, and we filled this coffee can, literally was that big, to the top, you know? And then we got to the top, we're like, okay, we gotta seal it. It's gotta be sealed. Like the baby food jar, you could just screw the cap on, like, how are we gonna seal this? And I was like, oh wait, my brother's got a soldering iron. I know what to do. So I took the metal coffee can lid and put it on there, and then applied molten metal along the edge.
To an explosive.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I was down in my basement and I'm like shaking. At that point, I'd bragged so much that I knew how to solder that I didn't want to go back and admit defeat. I was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm having visions of my whole house engulfed in flames.
Yeah.
So we finished this thing, and after that kind of scary building experience, I started to understand the reality of explosives. And I was like, you know what, guys? I think this is too big for our normal zones, blast zones.
Like, because you just do it in your backyard or something.
Yeah, like I was afraid we're going to damage a car or like crater the ground so bad in my backyard that my mom would be like, are you playing with bombs again? So we're like, what do we do? So my big idea was, well, we'll build a boat for it. So we fashioned a wooden raft like...
Where did you get all this time?
Exactly.
Then we organized a society.
I know. I don't have time to return an email today. Like, somehow I had time to build a floating bomb.
You built a boat?
Yeah, so we took like a big pie tin, put that on the boat, put the coffee can bomb in the boat, and then somewhere I picked up along the line, probably from a World War II movie, how to make a cigarette timer. Which is like you take a cigarette, you put a hole in it, then you put the wick in the hole, you light the cigarette. When the cigarette burns down, you know, after a couple minutes, it lights the fuse.
That's the piece of information that kids are writing down right now.
Because that'll keep you safe.
Because I'm an adult and I'm like, yes! That's where I've been going wrong.
I watched a lot of World War II movies when I was a kid. Anyway, so we send it out into the lagoon in the park near my house. And I didn't have binoculars, but I had these like cheap plastic eyeglass binoculars like you get from a novelty shop. So I have these on, I'm like, it's not lit. It's not lit yet. Hold on, I thought the wick got wet. And I'm like staring through these things. And then eventually I was like, it's not working, but now it's out in the water, we can't get to it, and all of a sudden I see, like, run! We turn around, we're on a pier in the lagoon, we're running, it's like slow motion. It's like one of those moments in your childhood where you're like, I can't believe I did this! And I turn behind me, and I see an inverted cone of white light going, boom! It literally lights up the entire night in the park. The whole lagoon is lit. We're like, ah! We feel like this blast wave behind us. You know? Everyone, no one even talks. We're like wetting our pants. We just run away. Like, this friend goes to that house, that friend goes to this house. We go home, we just lock the doors. Like, You know, Mom's like, what's wrong? Nothing. I said, we're jogging. Anyway,
we're jogging and urinating at the same time.
I went out the next day and I went to the lagoon in the daylight and saw like the pie tin that it was sitting in was flat like a pancake.
Right.
And it was like shards of like, you know, disabused wood everywhere. Anyway,
everything.
Fun July 4th story.